Hey YouTube, this is Bible Teen. I'm doing another individual video game review. This time I'm going to be reviewing a game for the Sega Master System, but before I get into it, I'd like to say that one of my comments that I got on the fourth part of my Sega Master System review, there was a comment that was left by 19 Bigfoot 85, and he said that the expansion port on the bottom of the system, I talked about that in one of my videos on my Sega Master System review. Anyway, he said that this expansion port was for was supposed to be for a floppy disk system that was never released in North America due to bad sales of the Master System. So it's obvious that Sega was going to compete against the Famicom disk system, but that never came to pass, probably because of bad sales of the Master System, or just when they learned that the Famicom disk system was not going to be released in North America. But then again, the disk system was never released on the Japanese Master System, so it's obviously because of poor sales. But anyway, I'm going to do a individual video game review. And by the way, thank you very much, 19 Bigfoot 85, for finding out that information. I really appreciate it. But anyway, the game that I'm going to be reviewing today is Hang On for the Sega Master System. And this is on the Hang On and Safari Hunt 2 games in 1 cartridge. The game was released in 1985 in the arcades by Sega. It was designed by Yu Suzuki, who is Sega's, I guess you can say, Sega's golden boy video game designer. Sega's golden boy designer. He did a whole lot of games in the late 80s, early 90s. Games like Outrun, Afterburner, that sort of thing. But anyway, the main synopsis of the game is you're riding a motorcycle that is called the Hang On motorcycle, which is a motorcycle that can turn at very sharp turns, unlike any other motorcycle. Anyway, you race through different areas until you reach the finish line. The game is similar to Pole Position. The only difference is that you have 3 gears instead of 2, and you're riding a motorcycle. So it is a clone of Pole Position that was released in the arcades by Namco. But it does have some gameplay of its own. Okay. Plugging in my Sega Master System controller. Put in the game. And I've also turned the volume up to a point where you can possibly hear, because on my Sega Master System review. You can barely hear the game, so anyway. Sega. Doesn't anyone forget that intro? I mean, dang. Anyway, let's get this thing started. Okay, as you turn it on and you select hang on, you get the hang on title screen, which kind of looks like the one in the arcades, except it's not really that animated. It's not animated at all, but anyway, press start. Now this game is definitely not arcade perfect, but it's getting there in some areas, and I just got killed. Every time when you get killed by crashing, you waste valuable time, and you have to reach the checkpoints. If you reach a checkpoint, you get extra time to finish the whole race. Of course, your score goes up the longer that you're on the course. And I just lost. There's really not much to say about this game. It's a good arcade translation. So, but other than that, it's a good game to get for the Master System. And as a matter of fact, it's the pack-in tile for the Master System. I'm going to try again. Of course, there is a couple of things cut out with the game is different to the arcade version. The cool animation and graphics are gone. You're just stuck with something that looks kind of like pole position. And the other thing is, when you lose the game, it doesn't show you a map of how far you've gone on the whole racing course. And I think it was kind of cheap for Sega to cut that out. I mean, that the NES had less graphics, but on Rad Racer for the NES, it has a map showing you how far you went right after you game over. And I just got a time extension. But anyway, I just think it was kind of cheap for Sega to cut that out. Of course, they might have needed the memory to get Safari Hunt on the cartridge, but I'm not exactly sure. A special tip about this game, if you're wanting to do good at it, right when you get to the sharp turns, you might want to slow down. Of course, don't slow down to where you're wasting a bunch of time. I mean, and I just got killed again. Also, another thing that's different from the arcade version is you do not have any music when you're racing. Well, and plus the tile screen music's not like the tile screen music in the arcade either. But other than that, there's nothing more to say about the game. It's a good arcade translation. It's not arcade perfect, but other than that, for a pack-in tile for the Sega Master System, I would give this 5x5. It's a good arcade translation, not perfect. This has been Bible Teen, and I'll see you later.